By FA Cup commitments, starting with York City against Mansfield at Bootham Crescent at the Shadow into the 4th Division, reviving York against 3rd place Mansfield with John Helm.
After their disappointing entry into the new year at Wrexham, Mansfield Town look to renew their promotion challenge here at Bootham Crescent, the former home of their own right winger Gary Ford, whose 435 appearances for York City have been bettered by only 2 other players in the club's history. York's lack of firepower is the main concern for new manager John Ward. His leading goal scorer, John McCarthy, has 8, and the entire team has mustered a mere 20 in 22 league outings. Wilkinson laying it back for Gary Ford. Well, they used to get off their seats when Ford came forward for York City. Now he's doing it on Mansfield's behalf. Holland inside, a chance here. Wilkinson smacks it into the net, but the whistle had gone. And Wilkinson says, "What, me? I can't have been offside." The linesman won't tell him whether it was him. But the flag was raised very quickly, and there's Holland. Well, certainly Wilkinson wasn't in an offside position, but Stant probably was. Charles got it in the air that time. Now it's Wilkinson, very much on his left foot, and Wilkinson's shot just wide. Good try again, and Wilkinson's hit the net once. He was offside on that occasion, and he's obviously a striker feeling very confident at the moment, judging by that try. Good throw-in by Fleming. He caught York a little bit unawares there. Ford's ball though. Oh, it might catch Marples out. It just dropped over the Chris Marples crossbar. He's just under 6 feet tall, the York City goalkeeper, and as Gary Ford loops it here, I think it was an audacious attempt at a chip, and it nearly caught Marples out. And Blackstone wins it this time from Fleming. Makes tracks towards the Mansfield goal. Finds McCarthy. The ball rolled for Hall. This is better from York City. Crosby. And not a good clearance. Here's Wayne Hall on the right foot. He prefers it on his left. And Hall, who scored a spectacular goal in the FA Cup here against Tranmere Rovers a few weeks ago, couldn't repeat the feat this time. Mansfield really need the win more than York if they're to sustain their challenge at the top of the 4th Division. And Wilkinson plies another ball in, which is dealt with ably by Canham. Holland, though, tries to swing another crossover, and it's put out of play by York's captain Crosby. There are a number of Mansfield fans in the crowd here at Bootham Crescent as this throw-in comes towards the York net, and is put out of play for the corner kick by Pepper. So Gary Ford. It's a bit longer this time, and Gray's got the flick on, and here's a goal for Mansfield Town. And Paul Holland, with his header, has given Mansfield the lead. So Paul Holland, with his 5th goal of the season, makes the Mansfield pressure count. It was Gray's header as Marples dashed off his line, which unhinged York, and he was punished by Holland. So just the lead that Mansfield needed, it's given them real impetus after 29 minutes. Hall for York. Blackstone must give chase. And it's going to be a free kick here against Ian Blackstone. He's got a huge grin on his face. Judging by his reactions after he'd put the ball in the net, Paul Holland, for some reason, didn't think he'd scored. I've never seen a more muted celebration. And that was Holland there, almost winning the ball off Warburton, and now it is 1. Spooner through. Chances here. It's going to be 2 if Wilkinson finds the net. He's found the net all right, and that could be a critical moment in the game. Warburton had tried to dribble the ball out of defence, and he is punished by Steve Wilkinson's 13th goal of the season. Spooner feeding the ball through. Wilkinson had timed the run, and he's very adept at finishing well. So 2 goals in the space of 4 minutes for Mansfield Town, and Steve Wilkinson joins Phil Stant as joint leading scorer on 13. And the long ball forward gives Blackstone a chase against Foster, and he keeps going, and he's got a man in support with him. Here is McCarthy. He's had 1 shot on goal today, and it's flicked through and just off the boot of Tony Canham, wide of the upright. York's leading scorer, McCarthy. It was a half shot which found Canham getting a touch on it and carried it wide. Foster's there again to win it for Mansfield, and he'll go chasing now to try and halt McCarthy in his tracks. McCarthy coming inside, and not a bad ball through for Pepper, who gets a boot to it. So, unfortunately for York, did Paul Holland for Mansfield to yield a corner. Pepper's gone short. Again, plenty of men inside the penalty area. The goalkeeper, Kite, punching the ball in the air. Pepper's there. It's surely got to fall to somebody in this penalty area on York's behalf, and a brilliant reaction save from McCarthy. Superb stop by Phil Kite. He's not had a lot to do this afternoon, but that was a super effort. Here is Wilkinson for Mansfield. Oh, and he's played the ball through for Spooner, who can make it 3. And Spooner's still here with the header, which goes behind. And just as at one end we saw Phil Kite save Mansfield, so Chris Marples did his job for York then. Nice little ball through to Spooner from Wilkinson, and an excellent block by the former Derbyshire wicketkeeper Chris Marples. Macmillan brings York back again. McCarthy knocks away 1 and gets a free kick. Trip on John McCarthy, and York a free kick. They're still 2 goals down. Hall with the free kick, drives it in low, and Mansfield have enough bodies there to clear it. It was Stant, the centre forward, who got back. And this is a longer one, and there must be chances, and again the goalkeeper is there to deny Warburton. So Warburton's had the 2 best chances in this half for York City, or 2 of the best anyway. And here he is, there's the header, straight at Kite again. The goalkeeper stood his ground. He was very disappointed to lose his first team place at Sheffield United to Simon Tracy, when he thought he'd done little wrong. That's Reed's ball, which Blackstone nods on towards Canham, and coming here is McCarthy, and McCarthy has brought York back into the game. And York's leading goal scorer gets his just desserts only a minute after providing an opportunity for a free kick which was spurned. McCarthy does it all himself this time. The ball forward was from Reed, the flick on by Blackstone, then by Canham, and McCarthy showing real poise and coolness in that situation. So McCarthy's 9th goal of the season gives York some hope. Just a ray of hope now. The deficit cut to 1. Wilkinson does hold it up this time, and then plays a lovely pass down the right for Stant to chase. There's only Charles in the middle if Stant plays it in first time. Here comes Gary Ford. How he'd left to score against his old club. He's won the corner instead. There's a bit of dash again about Mansfield. Mansfield's corner. Ford looking to hit it short to Steve Charles, and then longer. Not a bad ball in, off the crossbar. Wilkinson, and finally put away. Real disappointment for Kevin Gray, whose header it was that rattled the York bar. Gray's only ever scored 1 goal for Mansfield, and that was in August against Blackpool in the Rumbelows Cup, and that's how close he was to his second. Mansfield Town still leading here at York, 2-1. Don't forget though, York scored in the last minute last week against Halifax, so all is not yet lost. But Mansfield are on the attack with Holland. Whips it across, and it runs right through that posse of bodies there. Marples couldn't get a hand on it, and Stant and Wilkinson couldn't get a foot on it. Ford's header. Wilkinson can't get there. Ford's got a good spring on him. Now McCarthy, can he turn his man inside out? Here goes McCarthy into the area, could get the second. Is he brought down? No penalty given. York fans feel there should have been a penalty there for the challenge on John McCarthy. The referee didn't think so, and that could have been a critical moment in Mansfield's promotion challenge. McCarthy had got goal side of defender Foster, and that was the challenge that the fans didn't like. Canham has to lift it in. York know they've got to do something desperately quickly now, but Mansfield look to hit them on the break once more. Forward it goes, and Stant doesn't even bother chasing. Well, Mansfield had a run of 7 away wins earlier in the season. They've lost their last 3 matches away, but they've got their promotion challenge back on the rails here at Bootham Crescent with those 2 first-half goals from Paul Holland and Steve Wilkinson. And although John McCarthy pulled one back in a spirited York showing in the second half, it's Mansfield Town who win here by 2-1.
Johnny, we'll see at the moment. Do you find it hard to put 2 halves together?
Yeah, we're a little bit Jekyll and Hyde. It's difficult for me to explain the reasons why. We appear to sort of have half a game where we can put pressure on opponents, and then half a game where we don't. And we suffer when we don't, in fact, because we're finding it hard to score goals anyway. So we've got to look for some consistency. It's not going to be easy for us, but we've got to work hard. The players have got to accept responsibilities, because I will, in my position, and we'll work hard and try and turn it round.
It must have been a personal blow last season, obviously, when you were relegated. How important would it be to George Foster to take Mansfield back into Division 3?
Very important, because with football management, if you're not successful, we were relegated last year. The board of directors stood by me. They supported me, and I was getting a fair bit of stick from the crowd, and the crowd were beginning to put pressure on directors, as they always do. But they backed me, and they knew that, we were headed in the right direction. And, I just hope at the end of the year that I can repay their faith in me.